All right, what is going on, guys? Christian from the Land Prey podcast. As always, joined by Trenton, but
What's up,
Jeffrey's not
guys?
here right now. Hopefully, he gets on. If not, it's going to be a two-man podcast. So,
He's busy with the moving process.
yeah, getting ready to head back to Cali. So, um, as always, like I say at the beginning of our shows, thank you for tuning in. If you're listening to us on YouTube or if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and check us out on our podcast platforms, which is right now we have Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public. So check us out there. Also follow, and if you're listening to us, then make sure you go check out our YouTube and you can subscribe to the channel there. Today we're going to be talking about Gane versus Alexander Volkov, that fight night card headlined by those two guys. You and Jeffrey were able to watch the fights. I was working a 16-hour shift, so I was unable to really watch them live. I kind of just tuned in, watched a bunch of stuff on YouTube and stuff because I tried to watch it on Hulu and it wasn't up on Hulu. So for ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I watched him. Yeah, I watched him live. I actually thought it was a pretty decent card for what it was. Like, I didn't really have high hopes for the card as a total. But,
that's always the nicest thing, though.
Yeah, I mean, I tuned in even for the early prelims and stuff. And dude, the like even the prelims were bangers. Like, there were so many finishes and stuff on just the prelims. It was a good fight card. Just like entertaining fights to say the least, you know.
I think that's the nice thing is, you know, we look at some fight cards or even big name fighters on fight cards, we have high expectations.
Yeah, the hopes are just so high, and then it's hard to live up to them because you're like, oh dude, I love this fighter, this fight's a great fight. And then it turns into a snooze fest, and it's like, well, that soured my whole experience for the whole fight card, you know.
I know. Yeah, but I like we said, I think on the main card, like besides the main event, the Ovince St. Preux sticks out as like a bigger name guy, but that's because he's been in the UFC for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And then Andre Fili, he's another guy he's grown up in the company. He just turned 31 and he's grown up in the company. He started, I think he was like early 20s when he started in the UFC. So, yeah, the rest of the card is a bunch of people, or not a bunch of people, but a lot of people that I haven't heard of in terms of like the early prelims and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's nice when they show out, and hopefully some of them get
honestly, those are some of the better fights these days, you know, like
for sure.
The people that we grew up watching and the people that like we have watched for the last, you know, 5 years or whatever, some of those guys are getting old and they're on their way out still.
Yeah,
you know, and these guys that we don't know much about, and these random undercard fights or whatever, they turn out to be bangers and they're up and coming prospects, you know, makes them exciting. I just need to, that's why I like to watch the early prelims and kind of get a feel for them, just because you never know who's going to be the next star, you know, or that's like true. The next champ coming up.
I mean, look at Connor. He got to start on the prelims.
Yeah.
God, that was, who was the guy that he fought? He fought that short, stout, bald African-American guy. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's always wore the Dragon Ball Z thing. Right?
Yeah, he wore the Dragon Ball Z. Hey, Jeffrey, what's up, buddy? We're just getting started too, so welcome.
It has a B in there. It's like something. What was his name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Don't even give me a second. I got it in my head.
I'm gonna pull it.
Brimage, Marcus Brimage.
Yeah, Marcus Brimage. God.
Yeah, baby.
God damn it.
I got all sorts of info in my head, and it's all useless.
I have. This is, for me, it's song lyrics. I can remember song lyrics like it's nobody's business, but if you ask me a math equation, I can't remember shit.
I've got so many fights stored in my head and fighters in my head. And I mean, this is one of the reasons why we had to do the podcast, because I got to have an outlet for something. Like, it's just useless information otherwise.
They're like, hey, laying in bed. Hey, babe, guess what?
Yeah.
Would you have imagined that? I'm just kidding.
Who do you think leg kicks harder, Aldo
On a scale from 1 to 10, would you? All right. So, Jeffrey, we were just talking about the the preliminary card and how some of these guys, Conor McGregor started in the prelims, obviously, but they can elevate themselves into main card status and main event potential just with, multiple, even if it's in the prelims, just multiple performances of, submissions or finishes or just exciting fights.
Yeah,
so.
hell, with one good knockout or one good submission or something.
Yeah.
Who knows,
All of a sudden you're Hamzat Chimaev or whatever,
yeah, or I mean, even
exactly,
look at Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley, he's strung together, like he's gotten put on main cards and he's been able to perform on the main cards. So, with that, you get big names, you get big fights, and hopefully you get finishes to help make because I think Sean O'Malley is one of the more he's up there, like he's making that climb to get into Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz, just because he's an exciting fighter. So
if he can keep the consistency and his potential and keep doing the finishes and stay exciting, then that dude's gonna he could be the next superstar of the UFC if he plays his cards right, for sure.
And he's got to keep well rounded,
Yeah.
He's gotta fill holes in his game and keep getting better.
Yeah, I think he needs a better ground game, because I think if he would have had a better ground game, well, actually, his leg was pretty compromised in the Cheetah Vera fight. So
that leg got blasted.
Yeah, and so at that point, I think it's just survival. So
yeah.
Anyways, so back to this card, Jeffrey. I think you beat, Trent. I think you beat Jeffrey and I in our picks this week. The Andre Fili fight kind of screwed me, but
he was owning. I count that as a win because
so do I.
He was blasting homeboy.
So do I. Let's start off with Renato Moicano. He gets the submission win in the second round over Jai Herbert, and Renato Moicano looks good at 155.
Yes, he looked healthy. He looked refreshed.
Again, I didn't watch the fights live. I had to watch them later and on YouTube, like highlights of the fights. I didn't even get to really watch the whole thing. What were your guys' thoughts?
I think he looked improved. I think he looks better at 155 than he has for a little while at 145. So I hope he stays there. I hope he can put on a little bit more size.
Yeah.
And then and I think he could go on a decent run here. I don't know if he's going to be, champion material or anything like that. But
I don't think so. He's too inconsistent.
Yeah, but I mean, like he's good and he's an exciting addition to the lightweight division.
That's the most stacked division right now, though, dude.
So
155 is everybody's a murderer, dude.
Yeah.
Jeffrey?
It's been like that for a long time too. Like that division always consists of badasses, dude.
Yeah, I don't have much to say, dude, other than he looked good, dude.
Yeah.
He put on a hell of a performance, and he was in control of that first round too. So honestly, the fight that I think you picked that I was kind of wondering why in God's green earth you're picking him to win, but Tim Means over Nicholas Dalby. Tim Means was in absolute control from start to finish that entire fight. He's on a 3 or 4 fight win streak now.
That's so crazy, dude.
I honestly did not think that he still had it in him. And when you look, like if you were to look at the strike totals and stuff, they're very, very similar. But you look at everything else and you actually watch the fight, he had complete octagon control. He had, he got the only takedown in the fight, and he was in control that whole first round. After he got, I believe it was the first round, he got the takedown, and he literally was on top that entire round. The ground time was probably like over 3 minutes. He just looked good. He looked good, and it doesn't seem like age is really bothering him at all. After the fight, he said he wants some bigger name guys. Bless you, Jeffrey. He said he wants some bigger name guys. So it'd be exciting to see what's next for him.
Yeah, I think he struggles with the bigger size guys in the division.
Mhm.
And he has a lot of fights under his belt, and I know he's a gritty fighter. That's kind of why I had and confidence from his win streak, like he's got confidence from his wins. He's a gritty fighter. I don't see him get tired very often, and he just has trouble with the bigger opponents in there. And I didn't think this one was going to be. I mean, I thought it was going to be a close fight. Don't get me wrong, but I just had a gut feeling that he was going to be able to edge this out, and it's only a 3-round fight, so
Yeah.
that gives me confidence in him too. And he looked good, and I hope he does get a bigger name opponent, but I hope he doesn't, bite off more than he can chew. Don't go shooting for the stars. Just keep on trying to improve. It's hard to do that when you're at that age, though.
I think another thing. This was another reason why I picked Nicholas Dalby in this fight was because going off of MMA math.
Yeah.
They both fought Daniel Rodriguez. Nicholas Dalby beat Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez finished Tim Means.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those
Submission,
things. Right? Yeah, I believe.
I think it was.
So that I was doing the MMA math that you like to do, and I fell into the MMA math trap. So
that's why people say it doesn't work.
I know. Jeffrey, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, dude, I just I chose Dalby, because I thought that he was going to come out with a little bit of fire, and he's not looked like shit, in his previous fights. And to be complete, hey, congratulations to Tim Means, but like, if you ask if Tim Means won or if Nicholas Dalby shit the bed, I'm gonna be like, well, Dalby probably shit the fucking bed, dude. Hey, kudos to Means, like you said, he's gritty and he did dominate, but like, what the fuck was that?
Like,
I don't know what the fuck that was. I did not expect that. I don't think anybody did.
It looked like he didn't have a training camp or something, like he wasn't prepared.
Or he just was like, I'm gonna whoop the shit out of this almost 37-year-old. And this is another thing that I need to stop doing. Just because of their age, I need to stop going against people because of their age. Well, Matt Brown absolutely starched Diego Lima, I was thinking about this at work the other night. I was like,
you have an age bias.
Yeah, I was like, why am I picking against guys that are old? Because you look at freaking
that's not
Anderson
true, dude.
Silva.
We voted on somebody that was old and they lost.
Who was that?
Russian dude.
Volkov?
No.
Alexei Oleinik.
Yeah.
That's true. I forgot. So
we've been jaded before.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Still fresh.
Oh god. But congratulations to Tim Means. You said I hope he doesn't bite off more than he can chew. But if he wants, obviously the big goal is to get to title contention, right?
Yeah.
Or to win the title. At 37 years of age, it's next to impossible. Obviously, anything is possible. But he's in the welterweight division. Tim Means is not going to beat Gilbert Burns. He's not going to beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He's not going to beat Jorge Masvidal. He's not going to beat Nate Diaz. He's not going to list all the guys that are in top 11, 12, 13. Yeah. I don't think he's going to beat those guys, but who knows? Anything's possible any given Sunday.
This is the reason why you need gatekeepers here.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? And that's not, I'm not trying to be rude to Tim Means. I know it sounds like it, but this is perfect for him, dude. Keep picking up these fucking fights with these young up and comers and fucking beating them, dude. That's how you stick around.
Yeah. Keep getting that paycheck, baby.
But the thing is I don't want it to get to a situation where he wins one or two fights and he just doesn't know when to let go. And it's like, dude, you need to just be done.
Yeah.
We've talked about multiple times. Oh, by the way, guys,
active,
it's episode 6 of the podcast. I forgot to mention that.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. Look at us.
Hell yeah.
Going strong.
Yeah. Okay. This fight I'm really disappointed in because Andre Fili, that was the best he's ever looked. He looked so good in his fight against Daniel Pineda. And, you know, obviously it was an accidental eye poke. There was a couple of them. I mean, there seems to be a couple almost every single fight card. But there was the one in the main event, and then there was this one, and this one was pretty bad. And it was an accident. He went to like push off his chest, and then he like changed levels, and it went up into his eye. And Pineda, he did everything that he could. He tried to get the commission to let him continue. He just couldn't even open his eye.
I love how he tried bullshitting it. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
Great.
He's like, how many fingers
am I holding up?
He's like
3. The guys are like, he's guessing right now.
Yeah.
It was 1. He's like, you're fucking done, man.
I mean, that's a good guess. 1 out of 5. You go with the middle number, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted to go out on a shield. He knew he was probably going to lose that fight. I honestly think he would have gotten finished in that second round because he was so close to getting finished in the first round. Andre Fili looks so good. He must have had an amazing training camp because he looked really good and he performed the best I've ever seen.
So this is one of those things we were talking about Andre Fili before the fight, you know, like sometimes he looks like he could be a champion and he just looks damn good. And then other times he doesn't, you know, and this was one of the times he came out and looked phenomenal.
I think
it was unfortunate, you know.
I think he's starting to hit that peak. I think this is his championship peak. I think he's
reaching his prime right now.
I think he needed that finish too, though.
Yeah.
You know, like
for his confidence.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's just a big deal, dude. If you're hitting peak, you need to get those wins. You know what I mean? Like you can't be having draws. And I know it was shitty circumstance, but like if you're Andre Fili, fuck, you like to have that win, dude.
Oh yeah.
He was talking about like, you know, I'm trying to start a family and I got a mortgage to pay and all this other stuff in his post-fight press conference. And he was like, dude, I hope Dana like throws me some money so I could just, you know, that'll help with pay my mortgage and stuff, because that's the thing that sucks. Nobody gets paid.
Yeah.
You get your money. You get your show money, but that's scraps in comparison to, you know, if these guys were still, bonuses. You know, not to change the subject, but these guys still had their own sponsors, they'd be able to survive off the sponsorship, not the fighter money.
And let's be honest, at that performance, it probably would have been a performance of the night.
If he didn't get fight of
the
the
night, a bonus and a win, his show, his win, performance bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm sure Dana took care of him.
I'm sure he did. But I mean, and kudos to Daniel Pineda too. He didn't try to Aljamain Sterling it, and you know,
Jeremy Stevens it, dude.
Come on, that was a good poke.
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It was not. Yair Rodriguez did not poke him, dude.
Yes, he did. It grazed his eyeball.
I know we're gonna get off on a tangent, and I'm sorry. We're trying to get into the next subject. I will die on this hill. Everybody's like, Jeremy Stevens is
not everybody. Punk. I'm with you.
I'm not calling him a punk, but that was bullshit.
I disagree.
Bullshit. Okay, this is what I do on this show now. From here on out, this next fight, that the scoring is not. This is not right. This Valiev did not win this fight.
Thank you.
He did not win this fight.
I agree.
Barcelos won this fight. He had 2 knockdowns. He landed more strikes. He landed more significant strikes, and he had a 100% takedown defense. How?
Damn near KO'd him in that second round.
Yeah, he should not have survived.
No.
That should have either been a draw or a Barcelos win.
Yeah.
Disagree, dude.
That's because you won that pick. That's the reason why you disagree.
I agree with that. I agree with that scoring. I think he won the first round. I think he got almost knocked out.
He won the first round. Huh? He did win the first, but he lost the second.
First round, and I feel like he lost the second round.
So
there's tied, and I feel like he won the third round.
I think he lost the first, or Valiev won the first. I think Valiev won the first, and then I think Barcelos obviously won the second. Could have been a 10-8.
10-8
And then I
against.
also think
No, it
in
could
the
have been
third
10-8.
round,
It was
the
too
third
late in
round
the
could have
round.
been a draw. That's what I think.
I don't think it could have been a 10-8. That wasn't a 10-8 round.
I don't know, man. He 2 knockdowns, 100% takedown.
That was at the
defense.
end of the round though, man.
He
It
was
wasn't like
starching that man.
he didn't clip him at like 10 seconds into the round and beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? Like that was a competitive round until
I think it was like
I-
halfway through, right?
Either way, it was a good fight. Valiev. I mean, obviously the judges felt Valiev did enough to win the fight. So
Valiev recovered very well and put on a great performance. I'm not taking anything away from that.
Yeah,
man.
dude. Because
that
after he got hit, I thought that he looked rough.
Yeah. That dude's a savage. I'll give him that. But I still think that fight could have been a draw or because that was a majority decision too.
Yeah.
That fucking upsets me.
Yeah. That should have been a split decision, if
At
not
best.
a draw.
At best.
So, and yesterday, you can give me all the shit you want, Jeffrey, about you're like, oh, this Christian's going to continue his ways of arguing every single podcast,
Dude,
every single
dude,
one.
As soon as I watched it go down, I was like, cha-ching, that's a good match.
The scoring system in MMA is flawed, significantly flawed. It is it is so skewed, and judging is terrible. These athletic commissions stink. Like, and it's not just UFC. Anthony Pettis lost another fight in PFL, but the first one he lost. The second one though was terrible judging. He won the second and third round, lost the first. Yeah. But I'm talking about this most recent fight.
Yeah, didn't he get kneed really bad in this most recent one?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, I thought I saw a highlight clip of him getting.
He got dropped.
It might have been from the first one, but
yeah. But either way, congratulations on your pick, Jeffrey.
Yeah, you were gifted it.
You gotta win. I lost one up here that I'm gonna have a rant on. Just so.
Tanner Boser, Oven St. Preux. Is this the one that you're gonna have a rant on?
No.
Oh, it's gonna be the
OSP does OSP things, man.
Yeah. I told you guys, I was like, I'm shitting on Tanner Boser, but I'm gonna pick him because in the grand scheme of things, Oven St. Preux he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna stay here. I'm not gonna stay at heavyweight. But he looked good. Oven St. Preux looked good.
I mean, I think he was in good shape, but I think his performance was like shit.
God, he's the slow. I'd rather watch old people screw. He is the slowest starter, dude.
Yeah.
He is so slow. It's so frustrating because he has it doesn't take that long to fill somebody out. In the grand scheme of things, I really don't feel like it should take you one whole round to get in the groove of things. So unless it's going to be like a super technical striking match, Tanner Boser is, I mean, in the heavyweights, everybody's got power.
Yeah.
So
Boser looked good. Dude, he looked
so good.
Like I was saying before the fight, like I like his style, I like his movement and stuff. I just didn't I was agreeing with Jeffrey,
it just depends on what Oven St. Preux shows up.
Yeah, you don't know which one you're gonna get, and he had fought like higher caliber competitors, and I just thought, here's the chance. This is the one. Maybe he looks really fucking good in, and he looked like shit to me. I mean, he looked great shape. Like I think he chose the right size and weight. Yeah. That he came in with the right idea. He just he never pulled the trigger. He didn't fucking throw anything until he was already almost done.
I know.
I just don't see how you can look. Tanner Boser may be a champion. You know what I mean? Like eventually, I don't know.
Yeah.
But but OSP has fought like the cream of the fucking crop, and like, how do you go in there and lay that egg?
Because he does it like every other fight.
I know. That's what we said. The OSP effect. It's like you just don't know who you're getting, but like, god damn, it's frustrating, dude.
It's almost like Donald Cerrone.
Yeah, one fight he looks
like
world
he's
champion. Got a resurgence, and then all of a sudden he gets fucking shoulder fucked into 45 seconds into the fight, and it's like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, yeah. And so here's another thing. Oven St. Preux's camp, they're contesting the decision that he shouldn't have lost because he was in a great position on his takedown. He got a takedown, And then they said Tanner Boser put his hands in the fence to get himself up and assist himself. But even Daniel Cormier was like, at first I was thinking, yeah, this is a huge, infraction. It's a huge violation. But when you look at the video, it's a closed fist and he's pushing himself, off the cage to get back up. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
And
watching
also,
it live, it looked like he grabbed the cage.
Yeah.
And then when they showed replays and stuff, they didn't really have very good angles.
Mhm.
So it was kind of hard to judge. But I mean, if he did grab that cage, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? To get up and, I mean, not on his part, because you got to do what you got to fucking do. And if the ref didn't call it out or stop it or place him back, that's on the fucking ref, dude.
Yeah.
Straight up. But I mean, that's just one of those things, man. That's like,
him getting up off the ground wasn't what got Ovince St. Preux knocked out. What got Ovince St. Preux knocked out was his terrible game plan after he got up off the mat. That wasn't, you can't, if he would have had a Von Flue choke locked in or some sort of submission and he, cheated that way, like I get that. But
dude,
at the same time,
straight up with his chin right in the fucking air. Like,
yeah. So what do you?
Hands weren't up, no defense, no. He literally stood there like a deer in the headlights and let him tee off on him.
So yeah, I mean, my thoughts on it are this: you should have, if you didn't want him to get up off the, or if you shouldn't have been in that position, you're not gonna be able to contest a TKO loss over ground positioning and him possibly using the fence to get off the ground. Sorry.
It's not going to be turned to a no contest unless they watch a replay and it clearly shows his hands going into the fence.
I still don't think that. I still think even if they watch it, they're going to look at it and they'll be like, and what does this have to do with you losing by TKO?
Yeah. Defend yourself at all times, homeboy. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tanner Boser looked good. I'm glad that I picked him. I'm grateful you guys didn't. Because you guys would have blown me out of the water because I did not have a good picks. This I was 2-3. Should have been 3-3. I guess heavyweight, Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov. I know this is Jeffrey.
I'm gonna go grab water.
Okay, I'll set
back. Sorry, fellas.
Yeah, I'll set this up. So Cyril Gane looked good.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like Alexander Volkov could not get anything. Like he couldn't chain fight. Like he wasn't chain boxing where he could throw combinations. He did good with the outside leg kick. He had it there the whole fight, and I don't feel like he utilized it enough because it was there the entire time. When it got into dirty boxing range, he hit Gane with a beautiful uppercut in the 4th round, and it didn't go anywhere. It literally just stopped. Like he didn't put any combinations together. And I know that Cyril Gane is a more technical striker than Alistair Overeem, but they both were kickboxers. Like, so it was frustrating watching that fight and being like, if you would have just thrown some combinations together, then this probably could have been a different fight. But Cyril Gane made him look so mediocre. And I know your thoughts, Jeffrey, about Volkov, but I really felt like Volkov kind of I feel like he shit the bed in this fight, personally. So was this where your rant fight?
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a rant. This is my lesson learned on this one. this is my lesson learned. Mm-hmm. I'm always gonna go with what I think.
French guy?
Because every time, dude. Every time I switch it, I'm like, God damn it. Just like with the OSP fucking one. And then this Volkov, I shit on that dude for like 3 minutes this last podcast. Then I'm like, but I'm still gonna pick him. I'm like, and then this happened. I was like, I fucking knew it. But my thing with this is a typical Volkov thing, dude. I feel like, I'm not saying the losses, he's got some wins, but this is what Volkov does, dude. Like, it never really impresses me. I'm not saying he's not a bad dude. I'm not saying his stand-up isn't, isn't decent. I'm not saying his ground game isn't the shit. I'm just saying that like these are the type of fights that he's had over and over and over. And I think it's finally starting to catch up with him, which is why I said, like, dude, I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. I just don't think he's that caliber of fighter. And he came in and then look, Cyril Gane's fucking bad. He looked great, dude.
He looks so good.
He was kicking the shit out of that dude, out of Alexander, and like his combos were crisp and clean. Like he had some heat on him, and I was thoroughly impressed. I didn't expect two things. I didn't expect Cyril Gane to come in and look the way that he did, and I didn't think that Volkov was just gonna decide not to throw a combination the entire fight.
Yeah.
You know, or try and go to the ground or something, like when shit was going bad. Like, what are you doing, dude? You're good on the ground, homie.
I feel like
a kickboxer. Take him
I
down.
feel like
these
these two are. I feel like if they were to fight again, like this is one of the fights where if you go in there and you do it 10 times, I think you're gonna see different results.
Yeah.
Like because these two are two of the more technical strikers in the heavyweight division in terms of like, yeah, even if they don't have like tons of knockout power, they're very technical. But Volkov, I think from here on out, the way I need to look at it is he didn't even finish Greg Hardy.
Bro, is Volkov
Who at the time
in jiu-jitsu?
I don't think so.
No,
I can look.
That was kind of my thoughts on why not to pick Volkov in the first place.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, Chris, but
don't.
Everything you were saying was exactly is where you were going with that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think you're beginning like, well, I guess if you look at it in a certain light, you can start to think like, all right, maybe he's not a superstar.
He's a black belt in Sushin Jin. He's a brown belt in karate. He's a brown belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But you would never even know that because that's one step below a black belt. And I've never seen him go to the ground and be in.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, brown belts, that is so high level, dude. There are brown belts that can beat black belts on any given day. You know, they're so fucking talented. It's so fucking hard to achieve that. And when it was going tough, like you didn't even throw a combo and you're a fucking high level brown belt and you didn't do shit. And it's like, man, I'm kind of over it.
His last submission win. So he has 3 wins by submission and he has 33 wins. His last submission win was an M1 in 2016. It's been over 5 years since he's had a submission. And I get it, like, you know, but if there's the easiest way to beat heavyweights is by submission.
Yep.
Name one single practitioner in MMA right now that's a heavyweight that in the UFC. That's in the UFC. Because obviously Fabricio Verdum is still fighting.
Yeah.
But there's nobody in the UFC right now that's huge on submissions except for fucking Alexei Oleinik, who just got absolutely destroyed.
What weight class is homeboy?
Not absolutely destroyed, but
what's the Scottish dude? Is he heavyweight?
That's light heavyweight.
That's light heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah,
Craig?
you're talking about Craig.
Yeah.
Paul Craig.
Yeah.
The guy you picked.
Yeah. I didn't remember off the top of my head if it was heavyweight or lightweight or light heavyweight.
Yeah. Trenton, what are your thoughts on the Cyril Gane and Volkov fight?
Okay, so this one's kind of got me. I got some mixed emotions from it. I thought it was a good performance. I think Gane looked faster, and that had Volkov kind of perplexed, like he was confused. He didn't understand. Like he didn't think he was going to be that fast. I don't think. He looked good. He threw some good combos. When he threw power shots, they looked powerful. Like he missed a couple overhand rights and things that looked like if they landed, it was fucking night. You know, like they were gonna be hard, but he missed those ones. He looked good. Gane has a good way of shutting people down and getting them out of their rhythm.
zone. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, and that was kind of my feelings for this fight too. I was like, hey, if Volkov gets stunned or anything like that, like he's got 100% takedown defense. Like Volkov's not going to be able to shoot and take him down. Like if he's got like one way to win this fight, you know, and that's he's got to outstrike him. And if he can't, he's fucked, you know, like, and that's what happened. He didn't try, but I don't know if that's because he knew he couldn't or what, you know what I mean? Like, but my mixed emotion, this is where this one comes in, is as good as he looked and his willingness now to fight Francis Ngannou and all this stuff, even though he's like he said he was willing to because it's for a belt and all these things, he doesn't look good enough to beat him.
No. Here's the thing though. The dude has 9 professional fights.
Dude, Francis probably got 9 too. Like how many does he got right now?
Francis,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Francis has more than 9.
Francis is like young in the fucking game.
Something. Like 11, 12, 13.
Yeah, but they've all been in the UFC just like homeboy now. Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying that like as good as he looked and the potential that he's got is you know, he could be a future champ.
Francis is 16-3.
Oh, 16-3. Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So
that's
I mean that's 10
Yeah.
that's 10 fights,
thought,
10
yeah.
professional fights. He's got more, he has a third of the losses. He's got 3 losses.
Yeah.
And
that was better than
Gane.
Yeah, that was more wins or more fights than I thought he had. I thought he had like 12.
No, but here's my thing with Cyril Gane. It's the fact that he only has 9 fights.
Yeah.
And he's still young in the game in the grand scheme of things. Like he's only been fighting for 3 years.
Yeah.
So he looks pretty goddamn good.
No,
for a guy who's only been fighting for 3 years, and or in terms of MMA, he's been fighting for 3 years.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take anything away from him. Like I don't mean it with any bad things or anything. My takeaway from the fight was that I didn't see anything that he did in this fight that leads me to believe that he can compete with Francis at all.
No.
Like he tried to take Volkov down numerous times. They were stuffed.
Yeah.
His power shots look powerful, missed them all. Francis ain't gonna miss those fucking shots. I'll tell you that right now.
No.
Like, and if you can't take Volkov down, you ain't taking Francis down. Like, you just don't have the power, the strength to do a blast double and take him down. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing that I saw from him that led me to believe that he could jab Francis and keep him away, or you know, like, dude, he'll eat that shit and fucking sleep you. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see how that fight could be competitive. And the only reason I'm bringing it up now is because, for one, he said he was willing to, and for two, he was number 3 in the world and he just beat another guy that was number 5. So there's only
one way to go.
There's only up, and that's Derek Lewis
or Stipe. Yeah.
Stipe or fucking Francis. And Stipe, I don't know if he's ready to fight.
I think
he could beat Stipe.
I think he could beat Stipe, but I think
that's a tough fight for him, though.
I think that's a tougher. I think he would absolutely pick Derek Lewis apart from the outside. He would do what Curtis Blades did, except for Curtis Blades got stupid and tried to wrestle in the second round and got caught. I think
he would make it look like the Rosenstrike fight.
I think he would leg kick Derek Lewis apart.
Yeah.
Because he is so good. He's a great outside striker. And that's what he did in the, like, and Volkov, this is what I was telling Jeffrey. Volkov looked good and he landed a lot of leg kicks, but he was doing leg kicks to try and set other stuff up, but he could not get anything going. He could not land a combination.
The thing with his leg kicks too is they were all counter kicks.
Yeah.
You know, like as soon as he would throw a right, he would throw a right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like an offensive kick.
It was defensive.
It was just a counter.
Yeah, it was almost like mirroring his. Yeah, I know. Sorry that you're upset about this pick, Jeffrey.
I'm never not following my feelings again.
Well, we've got a fight card in 2 weeks, and we'll see what your thoughts are then.
Yeah. Hey, also, I know you guys talk prelims and shit like that.
We didn't,
but and I wasn't here.
We didn't talk prelims.
Oh, you didn't at all? Okay, cool.
No, I just said
I just want to bring this up.
Good fights on
before anybody else. count me in on the Shavkat Rachmanov fucking dick train, dude. I'm on it.
Dude, he
I'm
looked
on
good.
it. Yeah,
He looked
Dude,
really
that kid's
good.
a fucking stud. I'm on it, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he
Dude,
looked
that
good.
the height difference in that fight was something to fucking marvel at. Like I was like a dude was like 5'6" and the other dude was like 6'2" or 6'1" or something. I was like, what the fuck is going
Yeah.
on? It didn't even look like the same weight class, dude. It was insane.
That was an awesome fight.
Yeah. So for me, right now, what I think Cyril Gane needs to do is he needs to have a fight with Stipe. And
I think that's
because
the logical next step.
I feel like
Mhm.
Stipe is a more consistent fighter, and like maybe not in terms of like he doesn't fight as consistently because he fights once, maybe twice a year. It's been more like once because he only fought DC, once a year
Yeah.
during that time period, and then he
He was
fought.
also the champ.
Yeah, but there were still fights to have there. He just
Yeah.
didn't do them.
Mhm.
And then
Well, when you're the champ, you ain't got to, baby.
yeah, but if you're
get
trying to
paid.
but if you're trying to make money,
Yeah.
and then Cyril he needs high level competition that is consistently good. Volkov is just too hit or miss, and that's where I made a mistake in my pick. But I mean, I stuck by it and I didn't go back on it.
Well, to be honest with you, that whole division is hit or miss. Like heavyweight is a very hit or miss fucking weight division because it only takes one shot to fucking put you to sleep. You could.
I'm gonna pick Francis almost every time.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I picked Francis to beat Stipe the first time. I didn't want him to beat Stipe.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna win the first time too.
But I mean, that's how scary he is. How he is literally Mike Tyson of the UFC.
And he's learning at a rapid rate.
Yes.
And that's fucking scary.
Yeah. Dude, as soon as he stuffed Stipe's first takedown and started landing those power shots, I was like, okay, well, this fight's over.
I want $100 on that fight. I was like, hey, if he could stop his takedown, he's fucked. And Nick was like, $100, blah, 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 blah. He stuffed that takedown, bro. And I was like, oh, it's over for you.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the fight card. Jeffrey, you wanted to talk about that young man on the prelims, and then
I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done talking about Cyril Gane.
No, that's perfectly
Oh
fine.
yeah, no, I just wanted to shout out Shavkat Rachmanov. That kid was fucking. He looks different, and that's what I like. He looks sharp.
He's 14 now.
Oh, he's just something different, man. Catches your eye, Like if you've been watching fighting for a long time, you just see something that catches your eye, and you're like,
Kazakhstan or what is it? Kazakhstan.
Yeah, that's Borat's fucking country.
Yeah, Kazakhstan. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, there's number one. Yes,
he's number one.
Yeah, but anyways, that kid looked fucking fire, dude, and I can't wait to see him in there again.
The guy that I am excited to see more, obviously he has one loss in the UFC, but he's still an absolute stud, is Marcin Prachnio, Polish guy. He looks good.
Yeah.
For some reason, the Polish, like, I didn't realize that. Obviously you have Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Jan Blachowicz, but I mean, I didn't realize that MMA was like that big there, or combat sports.
He's the one that KO'd homeboy when they were getting up.
Yeah,
they were like getting up off the mat or whatever, and he like hit him with an uppercut, and that was a good fight.
Yeah,
that Polish power. Maybe everyone's got it. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that in terms of the fight card. What do you guys have in terms of total rating?
Oh, okay.
How many H bombs we going here, boys?
I'm gonna go again with like a 3.8 H bombs again. I liked the
not me, but
what?
I liked the
that's because he beat us in his fight pick, so he's happier.
No, I mean, are we going off of like the main card or the prelims? Like the whole card is a total.
It could be
just the whole card. It could be prelims,
the whole card.
Yeah. Well, I thought the prelims were better than the main card.
Also,
that's a problem for me.
Yeah, I thought the prelims are better than the main card. So if I want to divide them up, I want to go prelims with a 3.8 and then I want to go with the main card like a fucking 3.2 because I was not impressed with the
That
main
average
card.
is a 3.5, dude.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
3.5. That's a half piece. Let's
Yeah.
go.
that's literally
Quick maths.
yeah. What do you got there, Jeffrey?
Did I get like a 2.4?
Oh damn, you low.
Yeah, dude. Look, man. You had the touchy-feely thing. They had the Volkov thing for me that pissed me off. You had OSP just didn't show up to fucking fight. You know, it was like, whatever,
Yeah.
dude. There wasn't a lot of really good shit that happened, you know?
I feel
Like
it,
in
yeah.
that card, nothing like where you go back and it was too memorable, you know what I mean?
Now that I'm looking back upon it, maybe I have gone too high.
Yeah, well, you gotta stick. You gotta stick by your
I'll
pick.
stick-
That's
I'll
that's
stick
why
with my-
Jeffrey. That's why Jeffrey said, "Don't let us sway your decision."
I will take a
Yeah.
3.5, but on the lower scale.
I'm going 2.5, right average. Like
Okay.
I'm going like 50-50 because it's, to me, it's a problem when your preliminary card is better than your main card.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, obviously it doesn't change the fact that what we said earlier, where there are going to be some guys on the prelims that are fighting right now that are going to be big name later on. Give it a year or two down the road, they're going to be big name. That being said, your guys right now that are fighting on the main card should be, if you're on the main card of whether it's a fight night card or a pay-per-view, you should be showing out.
Yeah.
You're a proven commodity to the UFC. So
Those are the ones you're expecting to put on the performance that you want, and they didn't.
yeah,
you know?
well, that, I mean, and I'm not salty because I had a bad week of picks this week, but it's, again, like Owen St. Preux did not look good at all. Alexander Volkov, even though I think he didn't really show up to perform, but also I just feel like Cyril Gane is just a hard guy to prep for. He's a very technical striker, but so is Alexander Volkov. So I feel like he's fought more guys in the top 10, and he's fought more bigger name guys than
He has
Cyril
like
Gane.
40 something fights, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Obviously the Andre Feely thing, that part sucks. Like that's just a part of the game, you know. But, and really, my biggest thing is I just feel like the preliminary card outdid the main card. It's kind of like your JV basketball team going out there and shitting on your varsity team.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's like
what
fuck. All right, so Trenton with the very giving 3.5
happened.
rating.
Yeah, I may have
Jeffrey
jumped the gun on that
with a 2.84.
Yeah, I just wanted it to be just below average, you know?
Yeah.
And I just want to say too, like, I'm not mad at these fights, dude. I'll watch them every fucking time, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that wasn't better than average.
No.
You know?
Okay,
I agree.
okay. I may have been generous.
Yeah. So the way that it looks now, Jeffrey and I are 12-9 on our picks. And Trenton is now skyrocketing up to 8-13 on his picks.
Boom.
Slowly catching up, baby.
Jeffrey and I have tied on picks every single week.
Yeah, and the fucked up thing is we picked different fights.
And we've picked different fights. I know.
Yeah.
So, all right. The next thing, Fedor Emelianenko announced with Bellator that he is going to be coming back. They're trying to get a fight set up in October in Moscow, which I'm going to guess is probably going to be his last fight if they're going to do this big thing. And Scott Coker, the president of Bellator, said that he's gotten in contact with Alistair Overeem's camp and Junior Dos Santos's camp to try and get something put together. Trent and I talked about this before we got started. With Bellator not having as strict of a, USADA policy, I'd love to see Overeem. I'd love to see Overeem versus Fedor.
Hey, buddy. I'd love to see Fedor too, boy. Like,
yeah,
prime time juicy juice Fedor, dude.
freaking pre-Icarus.
Still got a
Fedor.
beer belly.
Still
Yeah.
gotta do it, but yeah, dude.
But
Those weren't
getting
in
slammed,
shape
getting
like
as
slammed,
shit.
getting
Those were like-
slammed on his
Those
head
were
by
like horse steroids.
getting slammed on his head by Kevin Randleman and then
Jesus.
still surviving and beating him.
Hey, look, you know what, dude? I'm down for it, dude. Like, as long as this is your last fight, you know, if this is like, all right, if this is Fedor coming out and saying this is my last hurrah, I'm down with it. You know, I don't want to see him try and make a fucking run again.
That's the thing
know,
that
Because he hurt his legacy so much. Do you remember how fucking feared that man used to be? You know,
31-0 or 30-0 or some shit like that.
everybody
for so
was like
long.
the greatest of all time. He loses one time to Fabricio Verdum, and everybody's like, dude, he fucking sucks.
yeah.
I'm like, what?
They were only
So
saying that because
he
he hadn't fought
damaged his
anybody
own
in that.
shit and then he got beat by what's his name. That's what did it. That's what I was
Got
like.
beat.
Huh?
Dude,
Dan Henderson did. Woo,
he lost to
H-bomb.
he lost to Dan Henderson. He lost to Matt
Bigfoot.
Mitrione.
That's the
Bigfoot.
one, Mitrione, where I was like,
Oh,
ooh,
yeah.
that hurts the legacy a bit.
Yeah. Matt Mitrione. Yeah.
But yeah,
that was
I'm cool
bad.
with it if you send him off, man. I don't want this to turn into a is Fedor back, you know?
I'll
Well-
tell you why I'm cool with it. It's because it's in Moscow. If this is his right off into
Dope.
the
That's
sunset
dope.
Yeah.
and it's in his fucking home territory, fucking let the man do it. You
Dude,
know,
they're
what I
gonna
mean?
go
Like,
balls to the walls, and I feel bad
Yeah.
for whoever's fighting him because that motherfucker's gonna get eaten alive in Russia. But
they should pump him full of all the drugs.
That's why I wanted Khabib to fight in Moscow so bad.
Oh
dude.
yeah, that would
Mon-
have been so
Connor
Oh.
versus Khabib,
They'd never allow Connor
Moscow,
to be murdered.
in
In the
fucking
open, in the
soccer
square.
stadium, in a
In the
soccer
square, dude.
in the town square for
That's what I'm
everybody
saying.
to watch. No ring, no
Yes.
octagon, street rules.
You guys ever see that Metallica concert in Moscow, dude, where there's
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands
Yeah.
of people? The dude was like, there might be 1 million plus people. That's what I want at that fight.
That's insane.
Yeah. I just think at this point, like for me, Fedor went from being the pedestal, like he was on that Mount Rushmore, and it slowly got chiseled away and he got taken off because I feel like after Strikeforce, he should have just been done. Like, dude, he was losing to Brett Rogers. Who even fucking knows who Brett Rogers is? If you're a casual, you don't know who that is. Brett Rogers hasn't been relevant in years. He was losing to Brett Rogers before he threw the biggest right hand I've ever seen and knocked Brett Rogers out. I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
He came with his own H bomb, baby.
Yeah. An F-bomb. He F-bombed.
Yeah.
But that was where, you start to see like the downfall of Fedor. You look at
he should have been done after Bigfoot or after was it Bigfoot, right? Or Verdum.
he lost
Bigfoot
to
first and then
his
Verdum?
his first loss was to Verdum.
Okay, and then Bigfoot.
And he got caught in a head triangle. And it was like a head triangle / arm bar at the same time.
Yeah.
And then he lost to Bigfoot, and he lost to Hendo, and he lost to Ryan Bader, and he lost to Matt Mitrione.
I just think that after Bigfoot, that shot probably should have been it because his record would still be like at that point, you could just be like, hey, age caught up to you, man. And you're 30-2. Like fucking respectable. You know what I mean? Like, let's end it there. And then no, you go on and lose to a fucking middleweight, and then that's what tarnishes your record.
Can you imagine if
legacy.
we would have gotten Brock Lesnar in his prime against Fedor in his prime?
Yeah, we got robbed.
Dude,
That's what I wanted.
that's what Dana White
Yeah.
pitched to him. And Fedor said no. So,
It might have been wise.
yeah, well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Cain Velasquez put it on Brock. So,
Yeah, but Brock could have also maybe taken him down and just pounded him into oblivion at that point in his career too. So
I just think like Fedor had who's like a good comparison for that dude, like the Ben Askren, where everybody's like, he's the fucking GOAT. He's the GOAT. And then he comes over to good competition. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was the tarnish on his whole career was like, oh, he's not fighting the top competition in the
Yeah.
UFC, so who knows what he is, and then that's what happened.
But
A
at
couple dudes
least
got
Ben,
cut from the UFC, and
but
they
at least
fucking lost to
Ben
him.
fucking
Tried to prove it.
was in the UFC and
Yeah.
has that excuse.
Yeah.
Like Fedor,
Yeah.
Fedor didn't even make it to the UFC and started getting starched. So that's like what hurts his fucking legacy.
So he's lost 6 fights in his entire career. He's 38-6.
That's still not
39-6.
That's still not terrible, but it's not.
You can't go on the run that you went at the end of your career, though.
No, it's still an amazing career. Put it that way. But what tarnishes it is how you've lost and to the opponents you've lost to at the point of their careers that you lost to them at.
Yeah.
Like Dan Henderson was probably already fucking done at that point, or should have been.
Dan Henderson was like 37 or 38 at the time, I think.
And don't get me wrong, we got some badass fights after that out of him, but he could have ended it there and just been, like right off into the sunset himself, and he's a fucking middleweight.
His last win was Fedor's last one was against the worst looking Quentin Rampage Jackson physically and fight prepared that I've ever seen.
That motherfucker got off of Twitch and went into the cage.
Yeah. So I just, it was like, dude, I hope he gets a big name fight big enough to just ride off in the sunset and, be happy with, because if he wins, it'll be 40. You reach 40 wins. Congratulations. Be done. Because he's 44. You're not going to beat these guys in the heavyweight division.
You know who I'd like to see
also he just trained the guy who won the interim belt for Bellator. He's like one of the head guys for that guy.
I'd love to see Fedor drop 20 pounds and Anderson Silva move up to 205 and watch that first.
I would never watch that shit.
I would watch Anderson Silva versus Fedor and Bellator.
It's funny you say that because those two they have the same career arc as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. He lost a bunch of fights in a row to guys that you shouldn't have lost to. Except for
they could both be juicy.
Yeah. Yeah, except for Anderson Silva, it was penis pills.
Yeah, whatever.
He took the penis pills.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying, boys?
So who do you guys want? I mean, besides, like, let's keep it realistic based on the options that are out there. Like, I want Uberim, not Overeem. I want Uberim.
Yeah, I'd like a juicy Overeem. I think
I want a juiced up Andrei Arlovsky.
Oh, fuck, he's in the UFC still.
I don't give a fuck.
And last time he tried to do a flying knee. Hey, look, I'm just saying
that's
Fedor.
That was so bad.
I want to see him fight.
I think Overeem's the choice. I don't think I want to see Fedor versus Junior Dos Santos. No. I don't think I want to see that. To me, it doesn't do much. Like, it doesn't move the needle. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. I mean, I guess they were, what are they, champs at the same time at one point, maybe? I don't know. But like Overeem, that feels like a fight that should have happened.
It's a big European draw.
Yeah.
You got one guy from the Netherlands and the other guy from Russia.
It feels like it's a fight that should have happened or needs to happen, but it probably should have happened a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude. I think
both guys were in Pride.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the fight to make is Overeem. It makes sense. He's free agent.
Mm-hmm.
They're both at the very end of their career arcs, obviously.
Yeah.
In mixed martial arts, like, yeah, man, fuck it, sign him up. This is a fight that Overeem should probably win.
I mean, yeah, unless Fedor touches his chin a little.
Well, God bless his ass if he wins, if he knocks out Fedor in his last fight and doesn't get shot walking out of the ring.
Yeah, that's true too.
So
in Moscow.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Seriously.
Fedor, or not Fedor, but Overeem better pack his fucking dinners and shit, because I don't trust eating food over there for that fight. Fuck that noise, dude.
You better bring your own horse meat there, bud.
Someone just slipped me. I got bubble guts now. Who knows what the fuck? I'm going into this.
Russians are known for a little bit more than that, dude.
I'm just saying.
All right. So we looking at the next thing. They just did the bare knuckle fighting championship last night. I haven't watched any of the highlights except for one specific thing, and that was Hector Lombard and Lorenzo Hunt. And Hector Lombard defeated Joe Riggs for the Cruiserweight title last night. Not TKO, I think, in the first round. And then Lorenzo Hunt gets in the ring, walks up to Hector super aggressively while he's being interviewed. And the announcer's like, oh, hey. And then he's like, oh, whoa. Because Hector Lombard just throws a two-piece on Lorenzo Hunt. And I think Lorenzo Hunt realized, like, I just made a huge mistake because there was no retaliation after that. Joe Riggs, who
he didn't even push him.
Out.
Like, he didn't even push for him after he got hit. He was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. And Joe Riggs grabbed Hector Lombard. So the guy who just got knocked out by Hector grabbed him and pulled him away. So good on Joe Riggs. But
yeah, he seems like a good dude.
Yeah. He came to Huna once he was on a cruise ship. Yeah, so a bunch of people got a picture with him while he's holding up his fucking diesel tattoo on his gut.
Shout out Riggs, dude.
Yeah. But if you look at Lorenzo Hunt, he's 38 years old. He's been fighting in just bare knuckle boxing for a while. His mixed martial arts record is not good, and he's 3-5. But he has a 5 and 1 record in bare knuckle boxing or bare knuckle fighting.
Okay.
So I mean, he seems to be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't have any background information on him really. Like, I don't follow that bare knuckle thing a whole bunch.
Neither do I.
I didn't even know who the guy was when I saw the video. I was just
Neither
like,
did
what? I was like, oh shit, Hector Lombard looks fast as fuck. And
he's probably back on the supplements too.
Oh, he's got to be back on the supplements.
He kept getting USADa'd because he was always on something.
That was, I mean, I seen people like, I read the comments just because I was like, oh, I gotta read this shit. And then people were like, that's assault. And I'm like, you, first of all,
dude, you walk up on me like that? Sorry.
A fight just happened.
Yeah.
You do not do that to a grown man. And he came up like, everybody was like, oh, maybe there's some history. It doesn't even matter.
No.
Like, yo, he was quick. He fucking pieced him. And dude was like, he didn't want none of that shit.
No.
None of that.
How much you want to bet that's not the next fight they have? I guarantee you they don't fight each other next because that guy doesn't want that smoke.
Yeah,
sorry.
Lombard fucking pieced him hard, real fast, boy. That was fast as fuck.
Dude, he
was some juiced hands, dude.
Yeah. The next big fight for bare knuckle fighting championship is and I wanted to talk to you guys about this because I saw Darren Till's post. Is Paige Van Zant versus Rachel Ostovich. And Darren Till posted on Instagram, I can't wait to watch this fight for the boxing, of course.
I love that, man.
And those of you, if you don't get the reference, just Google Paige Van Zant or Google Rachel Ostovich and you'll know why.
Probably some of the hottest chicks in the MMA
and all of combat sports ever to grace an octagon or a ring. So that was another thing that happened. Another thing that I want to bring up in terms of people looking good, Miesha Tate looks absolutely shredded.
Yeah, she looks in
for her
shape.
comeback. She comes back next month. And then Sage Northcutt looks like a fucking alien. He is so shredded. He looks like a guy who went from 155 to 205. He was
always like amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he always looked like he was just a young athletic guy. But now he looks like a fucking professional bodybuilder. He looks like Jay Cutler.
He's shredded, bro.
He's huge. His veins have veins.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Do we know who Miesha's coming back against yet?
Yeah, Hanau. I want to say Maria Henao.
I don't recognize the name, but
She is coming back to fight.
top 10 or
Hold on. Let me look.
putting you on the spot. Sorry.
No, I just Marion Henao. She's a Brazilian gal. Hold on.
Okay. I just want to know if they're
She is currently ranked 12th in the bantamweight division.
okay. That's a good. Okay, I like
She's
that.
She's also 44.
Okay, well, that's
So she's older,
Yeah.
and it's honestly
You
that's
can't hold that
that's
against
just
people
a
no more, apparently.
yeah, apparently age doesn't. It's just a fucking number. But
I like that though. I like
think
to not
that's
just
really
feed her to the fucking wolves.
That's just a
and
tune-up fight.
Yeah, let her come back, feel the groove. The ring rust is real. I don't care what Dominic Cruz says. Like, let her get back in the cage. Let her feel good.
Dan is like, sure, yeah, you can come back. Valentina said she's gonna move up to 135 again, and we're gonna give you a fight, non-title fight. We just want to see where you're at.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks.
I want her to get her groove back. Let her put on some good performances and work her way back. I don't want them just to feed to the wolves and drop her in the top 5 or the top fucking 8 or some shit right off the gate and see what happens. I don't want that for her. She's been out a while now.
Yeah, well, honestly,
I think Jeffrey froze.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey froze. Yeah, he's frozen with a smile on his face.
At least it's a good view.
He's like, hopefully we can get him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with her, I mean, obviously, Jeffrey just messaged.
Dropped out.
Yeah. I think with, oh, yeah, computer crash.
It's all good. We're
almost done anyways.
Yeah, we can wrap it up or whatever.
Yeah. I just think with her having that hunger to come back, we'll just see how it goes. I think the biggest thing is we'll see how her performance is, and that will be the thing. That will be the deciding factor in whether she should try and make a run. Because if she has like a hard fought like split decision, I'd be like, maybe you should just go back and maybe be done. Yeah. So
I hope she has a full good camp and puts on a great performance, and hopefully she can make another run for it. Mm-hmm. If not, like you said, if she comes out here and has a tough fight that she probably should win, then it's there's no shame in staying retired. And
she's got kids now and married and stuff like that. So it could be a really great thing for her, or it could be, the parenting is just, you turn into a different person. Connor's not the same after kids, some people get better. Some people, just have a different side to them. So we'll just see how she is. And I don't want to make too many comments about it because there's just no telling. Obviously, I haven't seen. Go ahead.
She's bounced back from those kids really well. She looks great.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a good conclusion. Congratulations on a good week of picks and predictions.
Hopefully more to come.
Yeah, hopefully you can catch up to Jeffrey and I.
Yeah. Keep things interesting at least.
So that's going to be the conclusion of this episode number 6 of the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you're checking us out on YouTube, thank you. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can get notifications whenever we upload a new episode. As I've stated before, trying to get 1 or 2 episodes out every week. There's no fight cards coming up for UFC. There's a 1-week break, but there's always news in the MMA world. So who knows what can happen in between now and later on this week. And then if you're listening to us on Anchor or Google Podcasts or Spotify or any of the other podcast platforms, then please make sure to like it and check out our YouTube. But that's gonna do it for me, dude.
All right. Thank you
All
guys
right,
very
thanks,
much.
bud. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Bye.
I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.